They're a good team. Antoine Davis, one of the best scorers in the country. They play hard, good coach, so same as always.
And obviously, Coach mentioned Antoine Davis when I spoke to him last week. I guess, what is your guys' game plan just to kind of contain a player like that?
Yeah, you just try and slow him down, give him tough contested shots, team effort defensively, and make him guard too.
Absolutely. And you know, with conference play kind of starting up this week, what have you guys been doing so well leading into the Horizon League schedule?
Just continuing to do what we do, play as a team, play together, just continue to do what Coach tells us what to do.
Absolutely. You know, Detroit Mercy's Antoine Davis has been averaging 23 points per game. What do you need to do to kind of push or to limit his scoring output on Thursday night?
Just team total defense effort. You want to make it as hard as possible on them, so putting them in crowds, tough shots.
Absolutely. And you know, as one of the preseason favorites in the Horizon League, how critical is it for you guys to get off to a good start in conference play?
Every game in conference play means a lot, so if you could start the season off with wins, that helps a lot more than losses.
What's kind of been the message and focal point this week in practice?
Honestly, just the same it's been since we've been here in June. Just play hard, play together, play as fast as we can, play team defense.
Anything else you would like to add about this upcoming matchup that maybe we didn't touch on?
No.
Just that they're going to give us their best when they get here, and they got some really good guys, so we don't want to underestimate anybody and come out and do what we do.
And Coach mentioned the multiple defenses that could be thrown your way. Obviously, the zone, man-to-man. How have you guys just kind of been preparing for that going into tomorrow?
We've been working on all of their defenses, but for the most part, it's just not worrying about what defense they're in and just attacking what we do, focusing on what we've been practicing on, and you know, trying to execute that out there on the court.
And then, you know, kind of going back to your team a little bit, your opponent, you know, Antoine Davis averaging 23 points. What's going to be the goal for you guys to limit him and stop him?
Just playing defense as one. We got 5 guys out there, and we're going to need like our hip and hands and our gaps, and we're going to have to guard them with 5 guys. So it's just being together and playing as a team.
What do you guys feel you've been doing well, you know, hitting on to be able to, you know, do well leading into the Horizon schedule?
I feel like we shoot the ball really well. And we just have a bunch of unselfish guys. Like, everyone looks for the other player, and like it's a lot of fun when you're out there and you got everyone, one of your teammates trying to find you, as well as you trying to find your teammates. So I think that'll help us.
Absolutely. You know, how important is it for you guys to get off a good start in conference play?
It's really important. Last year we started off with 2 straight losses, and although we ended up coming from behind, like, we don't want to do that this year because we know the guys that we have and what we can accomplish. So we want to get off to a good start.
And Coach mentioned in games like this, kind of getting the younger guys more in the flow. Is there anything that you teach them, being a leader, I guess, when it comes to these conference games?
I mean, really, it's just we tell them all to go out there and play hard. Like, we know we're going to all make mistakes out there, but, you know, as long as we got each other's backs and we give it 100%, I think they'll be pretty good.
I guess what do you guys know about Detroit Mercy so far this year?
Well, I mean, obviously it starts and finishes with Antoine Davis. He's 17, I think 18 points away from setting the Horizon League mark for all-time leading scorer. He's on track to break Pistol Pete's record. He can really, really score the basketball. And what makes him really special is that he's unselfish as well. When you put him in crowds, he's going to hunt other guys and get them going, averaging almost 4 assists a game. He's surrounded by a really good roster. They turned over a roster, and they did a really nice job. I mean, they're shooting 41% from 3, 11th in the country, and they've had some really good wins. They beat Ohio, they beat Charlotte, which keeps seeming like even a better win. They had a tough trip out to Washington State, but tough travel that threw them with that. I mean, Coach Davis does a really good job and puts his son in a really good spot to score the basketball. We got to put him in crowds. We got to make him inefficient, and then we can't just obsess with him because that turns the other guys into really, really good players.
And obviously you guys saw him a couple times last year. Close games, I think 2 points and then 3 points the second meeting. I guess what type of a matchup are you expecting to see come tomorrow night?
Well, I thought we did an exceptional job last year putting Antoine in crowds and doing our best to make him earn every bucket he had to. I also thought we did a really good job attacking their switching defenses. They like to switch, whether it's going zone, they'll go man. Sometimes they'll play 3 or 4 passes in a zone and then transition into man. I thought we did an exceptional job keeping our flow with that. That'll be important again tomorrow.
And how do you feel like your offense will be prepared for that? You know, you mentioned the multiple types of defense that'll be thrown your way.
Well, we've worked the last 3 days. Obviously, when you're the first game of a road swing, when you're in travel partners, it's a little bit easier working through that. You know, that's also the benefit of having 3 years in the league, is that you've seen what's worked and what hasn't worked, and then, you know, in the off season, you're thinking through, okay, what new things could I do to attack what they've done in the past? And so, you know, I feel like we have a pretty good game plan coming in, and we've got guys that have executed in the past. Now the key is going to be getting those newcomers into flow as well, because the key is not overthinking. It's not a chess match. It's all about attack. Like, we want to create space and attack space. Need to shoot the ball well, and be ready to shoot the ball.
You know, as one of the preseason favorites in the Horizon League for you guys, how important is it for you guys to get off to a good start in conference play?
Well, you know, our ultimate goal is to be playing the best basketball we can at the end of the year, and so we don't really obsess with that. You know, we've been picked first a couple times in my 9 years as a head coach, and you know, other than maybe some blurbs and some good media on the front end and some respect from coaches, it doesn't mean a lot. I think there's some really good teams. I think it's going to be a top-heavy league, but you know, of course, we'd like to start out on top. You know, last year we found ourselves, you know, with a little bit of an edge, found ourselves at 3-3 in the league and had to come from behind to win the league. We'd rather have, you know, a positive sense of that, but understand that we understand that, you know, we're going to be the hunted, and with that, you know, we don't want to get caught, you know, worried about that. We just got to be aggressive right now. And you know, we talked about the Gazelles and Lions today, and you know, every game we're trying to put somebody into fight or flight, and if they come, it's going to be 2 Lions fighting against each other.
Absolutely. And ultimately, what's the confidence level like for you guys going into this game and this matchup? How have you guys been feeling at practice this week?
Well, we feel really good about where our defense is right now. I mean, we're the best defensive numbers we've had in our career at this stage, or at least my head coaching tenure. I love where we are, and we can win ugly, and that gives you great confidence when the ball doesn't have to go in to make the shot, to score to win the game. So I like where we're at with that. You know, I'd like to be shooting the ball better. I'd like our turnovers to go down. You know, that's a process that we go through as we play fast. We've made some adjustments to how we play, and you know, I see over time it being really good.